It's time! Woo! Also, this is very fancy. I didn't expect this top fans feature in the YouTube chat. I did not know this existed. So congrats to my #1 and #2 top fans. Hello, hello! We're back! Woo! Yeah! Okay, hopefully this works. We move over to stream. Oh! And the chat looks good! Yes! Incredible. Alrighty. Hello everyone! Welcome, 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 welcome. So, a lot of things have changed around here. We're gonna pause the music here for a second. So yes, hello, we are back. We are back with the Lost Woods Draft League Season 3. Woo! With new looks, new coaches, and a new name. I have decided to change my name, my online tag, for a multitude of reasons. I'll go on that on Wednesday because we got a lot to go through today. But for folks who might be newer here, hello Lumishan, hello Leaf, hello Oxygen, hello. For folks who might be newer here, my name is Colby. Also call me Toost right now. We've got a VGC Draft League. I have been doing this for 3 seasons now of the Lost Woods Draft League, of which I am a staff member of. But it's been really cool to watch people watch local kind of like, well, originally we would say people around New England, in like the Northeast, North America. But we are technically international this year, which is very, very exciting. Yeah, I like to just, we're gonna go through every week from here to the end of the season, watching a bunch of draft games from these coaches, and get some draft content. Most of the draft out there is a lot of singles, and I wanted to give some VGC some love. Not to say the single stuff is bad, because I watch the single stuff all the time. But so this season, we've got, I believe there are. Wait, let me count here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14. We have 28 coaches this year, which is insane. So the draft has been split up into 2 different divisions, the Miraidon Division and the Koraidon Division. Going forward, we will be to spread out and make sure that we get everybody, because there's a lot to go over. Mondays will be dedicated to the Miraidon Division, which is Miraidon Mondays from now on. And then Tuesdays will be dedicated to the Koraidon Division, which are Koraidon Tuesdays. And we'll be doing that for the season. And then Wednesday, we're all going to be streaming. That's going to be like variety. Like I'm going to come back to Run and Bud on Wednesday, all that good stuff. But so we're gonna review some of the here, hold on. We're gonna be reviewing some of the coaches. So, I've done this all the other. Let me actually just hold on. Give me 1 second here. We're gonna find some more chill music now that we're here. Just for a second. We're gonna change the music here. I want some chill now. There we go. That should be good. Sorry. We're gonna be things will still be upgrading in the stream here over time. which is like volumes and stuff like that. Okay. Cool. So, this season in Lwdl, the format for the VGC players is going to be Regulation H. No Terra is allowed. So we are playing pure Pokemon this season, and it's going to be I'm really looking forward to see what this season has, because we have a lot of coaches we have a good variety of coaches who have played Pokemon for years, way before Terra, way before any of this. We will come across them. Some of the names you'll recognize, at least in the Miraidon. And there's gonna be some coaches who were first joined in the Terra season for VGC, and we're gonna be experiencing Pokemon VGC without Terra for the first time. Hello, Keon. Hello, welcome. Additionally, when I go through these teams, I like to view this from the outside perspective as a staff. I don't have any stakes in the game. I'm just purely from an outside perspective on people's teams, and we're gonna take a look at them, see take a look at what the coaches had in mind. I won't be kind of giving away a lot of strats, just be kind of talking about big ideas and big stuff. But I will be also mentioning, I always like to mention a diamond in the rough, like a secret MVP of each team, for other coaches to keep an eye on. And yeah, there won't be a tier list. We're just gonna do some analysis. We're just gonna have some fun. So yes, good to see everyone here. Alrighty. So first up, we got ourselves, coaches will be able to have between 9 and 11 mons, and they got to choose between a budget of 115 points. You'll see as we go through here, some of the coaches have a lot of Pokemon, and some of them only have 9, and that's how they chose. First up here, we have our coach here. You know what? I'm gonna fix this just a little bit, because we wanna. There, that should be good, because we'll be able to see the coach's name at the bottom. So you'll be able to see the coach's name at the bottom of the screen here as we go through them. So first up, we got ourselves Alex. Alex is a returning coach from season 2. They are most well known for their immense love for solo Dondozo. I remember, so last season, Alex built a team around Dondozo. And I specifically think built around Dondozo because Dondozo teams usually bring up Tatsugiri, but for most of the season, Alex didn't bring it. I think Tatsugiri was brought 1 or 2 games. So he built his team around Dondozo, and we are seeing that this season we've moved away from Dondozo, but we've got a lot of just good stuff here in this team. Right off the bat, these 3 right here, gnarly. Well, I don't think you can see my mouse, but Sneasler, Dragonite, Kingambit, gnarly trio right there. They will be coming to every single game. They check each other so incredibly well. We've seen this in Regulation H, how strong those 3 are together. So that is the core that coaches will have to be building against. But from there, things get really, really interesting. Picking up the Gothitelle, E-Buzz for redirection, which is fantastic. We have your Trick Room modes, and then the Basque Legion female for a nice water type to check any other ground types that want to threaten Gambit and Sneasler. Can't be faked out. We got the Grand Bull, which I'm excited to see what the Grand Bull does. Oh shoot, you know what I did? I forgot to actually see if let me double check here. I need to check if any trades happened before, because this was made a little bit before trades happened. So okay, so just 3 coaches. So this is still what it is. Okay. So yeah, back to where we were. So Grand Bull. I'm excited to see Grand Bull. It's got a pretty wide move pool. Though like it struggles a lot with being like really, really slow. And having to rely on like physical like play roughs can miss sometimes. But I'm pretty sure let's take a look at Grand Bull here. So like close combat, pretty solid, catches with steel types, more ground coverage, all the punches, low kicks can be size. Psychic Fangs is really good utility. Super Fang in draft is really, really, really strong. Music is still loud. Okay. Thank you. I will one of the next things on my list is adjusting levels for everything, because we're still a little bit out of whack of that, because the sound on stream is going to be different than the sound volume in my headphones, and so hopefully I'll keep tweaking here. If folks still say it's loud, I'll keep tweaking here. But yeah, Caesar D Knight, King Gambit, very good solid core. I can do this too. Still tweaking a little bit of that. Okay. Just let me know if it's still too loud. So yeah, where were we? Okay, Grand Bull. So yeah, Super Fang, really, really solid in draft. You're gonna have a lot more bulky mons that require a lot of setup, especially since it's gonna be things like Archaludon. I can't think of any other like bulky, like super hyper bulky mons off the top of my head, but Super Fang is really, really solid to chunk those down. Oh, it gets other Dondozas, of course. But one thing I do want to see here is, whoops, we want to see utility. So it doesn't get it. I was thinking like, oh, maybe Grand Bull gets Howl, and that's really cool synergy with this team because really physically offensive, but it does not, unfortunately. But Roar is great, Helping Hand. Yeah, it's a little, it's okay for hello, Dark Helm, hello, welcome. And so yeah, Grand Bull's super interesting. I'm excited to see like what could be built out of that. Cinderace, one of my favorite starters. I think Cinderace is super cool. I'm excited to see that. I've played with Lurantis before. Very fun mon. There's a lot of good utility. So overall, this team is really physically defensive, like physically offensive, I should say. Like you can see here, the average stats 106. Things are gonna be hitting really hard physically, and there's a lot of good things like around to prevent anything like specifically Intimidate. So like inner focus. You've got Defiance. You can do competitive on your Goth. You've got Contrary on your Lurantis. So like very cool things here, and but because of that, I do see that it could be a little bit. I mean, you can do special D-Knight. I think you can get away with that. And you can even bring like Goth to like with setup as well. Frisk is going to be good for draft as well for CTS stuff. Yeah, I think that so I'm going into this with Alex's team. Here is I do think I see off the top of my head, really physically offensive. So because of that, it's going to be easy for coaches to kind of check that of like intimidates, will-o-wisps, reflects, if they've got breaking swipes, things like that to like lower the or their own like bulk ups or whatever can check the physical attackers, or also just physically defensive mons. So like I do see that being a little bit of a, like, if there's a team that can be really punished on the special side, Alex isn't gonna have the best time checking into that. But I say all of this with an asterisk because I had a similar sentiment about Alex's team last season. It was kind of like, I see like what they're going for. There's kind of like the vision there is kind of a little bit straightforward on paper. Like I severely underestimated the coach. Alex is a really solid player, and Alex is cooking something with his team. I don't entirely know 100% what it is yet, but like Alex knows how to solve the problems with his teams against opponents very, very well. So I would still keep a lookout for Alex, still respect it, even though you might think like, oh, let's check the physically defensive stuff, physically offensive stuff. Alex probably has some way around all this. My hidden MVP for Alex's squad is going to be this Basque Legion female. This is the first time. I'm excited to most people have picked up Basque Legion male and nobody's ever explored female. If we see Basque Legion female, it is technically a less amount of points than male. Obviously has more special attack, but it still gets last respects. So you can get away with Basque Legion female being a physical attacker, and last respects is still last respects at the end of the day. So just because this bond's special doesn't mean it will always be special every single week. So definitely something to keep in mind there. But overall, seems like a like cool squad, very solid right here. I'm excited to see what Alex got in store. Alrighty. Next up, we've got Pengy. Yes, the Pengy of VGC notoriety has joined the league this season, and very excited. Welcome, Pengy. I hope you enjoy your stay. And this is a Pengy team written all over it. Like bulky bruisers, difficult to kill. You have to put in a lot of resources in order to take down any of these mons, and a lot of really solid modes. I mean, right off the back right here, Dengo Clefable in a non-Terra format is going to be difficult to get through, like 100%. Pair that with a P2 as well, and you're just like, it is bulk city here. Really solid Intimidator and Scrafty. Chestnut, fantastic. I love me a Chestnut. Such a solid mon. The sand mode is where things get really like super interesting. Hello Rockwell, hello. Yes, we are indeed back. So yeah, Pengy sand mode is where things get really interesting. So obviously we can see off the bat Hippowdon Extra Drill. Like, yes, like that's gonna be solid, that's good. Very classic. Usually you see a T-Tar here, but the T-Tar did get sniped. I actually don't believe with the way that Pengy was drafting that he necessarily wanted T-Tar as the sand setter. Where my interest lies, and what I think I want to call out as my secret MVP, I think this Cleavor, this is the first time I'm gonna be able to see Cleavor in the VGC draft. Like, people are picking up like really cool mons here, and I love the Cleavor for this team. I think this is a super secret hidden weapon for Pengy squad. Yeah. We have some Hippo enjoyers here. Rockwell is a very, Conqueror, Keon here is bring Hippo to victory, and Rockwell is a Hippo connoisseur. But I do think this Cleavor is going to be really, is my hidden gem 100%. So we haven't really seen a lot of it in the VGC set, in the VGC context. It's decent in singles, like you have Stone Axe for your stealth rocks. But like, look at this, 145 attack, really strong. 95 defenses, 70, nothing too shabby there. But get the sand up with this rock type on the Cleavor. This thing's super bulky. You get the 1.5 boost in special defense. It's bulky. It helps against all the grass types that want to come against this squad. And like, Sharpness is a fantastic ability, and Sheer Force is a really good ability. Sheer Force 130 attack is crazy, dude. Absolutely crazy. So yeah, I don't want to go too much more into that, because I do think that there's like really cool stuff that Cleavor can do in this squad. With like the wrap up of Altaria. Altaria is super underrated in draft. I think Altaria has a lot of viability. Especially too with this squad, is like, oh, you want to bring ice types, you want to bring fairy types against Altaria, you want to bring rock types. Yeah, no, every other single mon on the team will check it out. Rotom Wash, always very good with sand. Any of the, like the Rotoms in general are solid in a sand squad. And the Fletchender to wrap up for any like priority tailwind. So this is a team to beat. This is a really solid squad. There's a lot of chip damage that's going to be happening here, so coaches will definitely have to keep in mind about chip, because it puts everything in range for Dingle to just make it rain. And this Clayble is going to be a big key support mon for the squad. So really excited to see what we got going there. Up next, we got Undead Paradox, a returning coach from Season 2. Season 2 was Undead Paradox is, in my opinion, one of the most respectable Sneasler players, and I say that because they know Sneasler inside and out, and they showed that last season. Starting off with a pretty rough start, but making it all the way into the top cut from last season. So nothing to be underestimated. And this is really another solid squad, a really cool squad here. We can see a lot of like returning folks from the squad last season. Gliscor is back. Gliscor I know is one of their favorite mons, and I do really like Gliscor in draft. I think it's definitely super underrated. But this is a super interesting squad. So obviously building around things like the Deepult here. Deepult Mienshao, already like super oppressive lead. What's an Intimidate? Can't fake it out. It's like you have to respect this lead. Hyper fast mons, hyper offense. Like it will have fake out. Dragonpult can do Dragonpult things. This right here is a nasty, gnarly. Yeah. I know there are so many goons here. Weaval's like solid too. And you got so obviously these three is gonna be like, don't respect fairies too much, but Toxtricity can take care of that. Toxtricity is pretty decent. Tinkaton I think is great. I know there's some Tinkaton haters out and about in the server. I think Tinkaton is a great one. I think it is a great, wonderful supportive mon, and even though its attack is like small at 75, Gigaton Hammer with that attack stat is perfect. Yes, but yeah, Rockwell, it is basically CS on Mienshao right here, 100%. Yep, it's just like that. It's like you can't fake it out. You can't really redirect because you got Dragon Darts. It's really cool. But Tink will be great to check on any of the fairy types, Toxtricity too. But But there's also a pretty cool Trick Room mode. Slowking and Snorlax here. Skeledirge as well. I'm excited to see like Mons from like Paldea, how they're gonna be in the non-Terra format. Because yeah, my picks for hidden MVPs are gonna be the Tinkaton and Skeledirge. The Tinkaton is super strong. I've used it in draft. I really enjoyed what support it does. And it's great. It's a great mon for checking. As like Feel Fairy Steel, one of the best types in the, if not the best type in the game. Dual types, that is. Yeah, we got Superior with the Contrary for pressures any of like Intimidate stuff. And what I love about Undead Paradox's play is that they have a lot of experience in singles. I know you hear Rockwell, just bear with me in the singles talk for a hot second. There's a lot of singles, like you can see the singles inspiration in Undead Paradox's drafts teams, but they do a really good job at knowledge of what the singles context of these mons are, putting them into a VGC context, which they are a very good VGC player, and adapting and making that work, making the teams really unique. Yeah, hidden MVPs, I think Dirge could be super interesting. Tinkaton as well. The Sentry's actually, the Sentry will absolutely be coming to games, like just because it's a small mon. Just put EVLA on it. Frisk, fantastic ability, Jeff. I said before. Good for, great for redirector for things like the Slowking, Default, things like that. Hello, Jake. Hello. Welcome. Yeah, I think I do think there's definitely like ways to get through this team. I mean, we see right here there's a lot of like ground spam could be interesting, because if team comes with a ground type that's pretty kind of gnarly and isn't too much to take care of the ground. I mean, you're gonna have Slowking, Superior, things like Ice Hammer on the Tinkaton. I mean, Lwdl can, but I think there's like a lot of possibilities with the team. There's some good creative stuff that you can do. So yeah, this is a really cool hyper offensive team, and I'm excited to see what you got for the season. Very cool. Oh, I think also as well there's like proper of like Ghost, Dark, even like Dragons to an extent can be a little bit tricky. I mean, Dragons are going to be a lot physical, barring things like Archaludon, like a couple other Dragons that could run special. I've already mentioned D-Knight before, got a couple others coming up here. But Tinkaton is usually like a check for that. Ice type moves on Weavile and Nenshao is pretty solid. I think there's like there's cool stuff going on here. There's really cool stuff. I mean, I'm excited to see what they got cooking. So yeah, next we got the realist Theo, who is a new coach. Welcome. Hello, Theo. Welcome to the league this season. And we've got ourselves a pretty cool Garchomp team. So obviously right now, Garchomp, Kilowattrel. I think I say before, Kilowattrel is underrated in the draft format, I believe. I mean, I should say I believe. It has shown to be consistently a lot stronger than folks maybe like estimate on this, and having 125 speed Like you just plop a Overcloak on this thing, you get Tailwind set up, you're good to go. It's just like the closest thing to a Pracer Tailwind mod. You got Disquake, competitive on this thing, very good. You could go with Hisuian Typhlosion stuff. It's obviously the funny Wheezing Slacking mode for neutralizing gas shenanigans. And like it works in draft. There are players I know. I think the Oxygen like drafted the Wheezing Slacking, and like it do stuff in draft. Absolutely, you have to respect the Wheezings for teams with Wheezings. So yeah, I mean other speed like good priorities. It's good speed, control, and Sneasel. Gothorita will be pretty solid as well. There's a couple like other. I mean, Azu's pretty solid. Other bonds, I just from my personal experience, are definitely. I didn't find when I use them, I had trouble like really making them work. Yeah. Wheezing Slacking was both the funniest and the worst decision I made in draft, and I played it in week 1. Well, you know it. You know how the mindset goes. So yeah, I've used Hisuian Typhlosion in draft. I think it is a good solid mon. I think that I'm interested to see what No Terra does with it with the ghost typing now, because you can just sucker punch it and this thing gets like destroyed by a sucker punch. And there isn't really any. I mean, I don't know if Sneasel gets quick guard. It doesn't. So yeah, there's not really any things to really prevent that. Because Typhlosion really likes to go Tailwind, In-Sun, Eruption, destroy things. But Frisk is good. It's always again. I'm loving how these first couple of coaches have a Frisk mon. Hitmontop was pretty decent. I've used it before. It's like it's all right. I think it's like if Hitmontop's attack was 100, even just 100, it would make loads of difference. Like there are so many times I've done calcs with this mon Hitmontop, and things are just a little shy of killing from on this. But having utility with wide guard, with fake out, feint, close combat, ice coverage for any of the dragons, and the flying types, it's pretty cool. And the Arbalife is decent. I think there's like a little bit of stuff of like Seed Sour, Garchomp is a little bit like, I mean, if you don't want to, if you bring Earthquake, then you have to like play around that, but you can just give it like Stomping Tantrum or something. And I assume there's like a soft Sun mode here, which is cool. I think the I'm losing my train of thought here. I do think that my hidden MVP for this team is Magnezone. Since we just came from Undead Paradox, I have seen what creativity you can do with Magnezone in draft. But Undead Paradox, when using Small last season, was like blew my mind of like what this can do. And I really like Magnezone for this squad. Granted, you have 2 electric types, but what the Magnezone does is like you can have Sturdy. Sturdy is fantastic for E-Webs. There's the Trick Room mode. Analytic is gonna do like massive amounts of damage, but also the Magnet Pull is really cool for this team because you take care of Steel types, Kilowattrel is good against Steel types, Hitmontop's good against Steel types. Even the Magnezone to an extent can get through Steel types. Like being able to trap them to get rid of one of like the resist to dragon is and like other, I mean even Azu to an extent can break through that. Like I think Magnezone is super cool. Not having redirection on this team is a little bit spooky in my opinion, because and also relying entirely on your Gothorita for Trick Room is also kind of tricky, because that can be really punished. Because you can really only do like fake out, you can do fake out, Trick Room, Volt Switch Trick Room, but I think picking up some Redirector is pretty solid. Honestly, if any of the Venonats or Venomoths are around, I think that would be a really cool pickup for the squad for a Redirector. Venonat or Venomoth are really good. If you have the Gothorita, you probably want to go the Venomoth because they both kind of desire Eviolite. But I think cool ideas going on here. Really cool fun squad. Yeah. Cool. Alrighty, we are moved on to Jack of Spadesman with Jake back again for the third season. Really good, solid run last season. Back again. Another and again doubling down on Jake's strength, which is balance. And there's a really solid balance squad. Rilla, Prim, Arcanine, very good. This is a very bulky team. Like these mons will require. You're not gonna. There's gonna be rare that any of these mons are gonna be one shot. And coaches will need to respect that. So, like keeping everything, things are going to just be staying alive. Lots of pivoting. Great, Jake will get in a position. We'll set up, and we'll sweep with that setup mon. So, like already this core really solid. Corviknight, Mudsdale, really great. I like the Glow-King is really cool. Electivire as your redirector, really good, really solid as well. Like you're gonna want to bring your ground types to check the Electivire, but we got a whole Rillaboom, a whole Primarina. Corviknight is solid. Any like Ice Punch coverage and Conkeldurr, very cool. Umbreon can definitely be like, it's Arcanine. Umbreon is going to be like intimidate, snarl, like your opponents will have to. I expect a lot of coaches to bring things like Clear Amulets and Covert Cloaks against the squad. But yeah, you have your Trick Room mode. I honestly thought about this. The Glow-King Conkeldurr duo, I think really benefits each other. Like they really check each other's weaknesses really well. With all the coverage that they get, gets your Trick Room set up. You can do guts in this thing. I mean, Conkeldurr by itself with like Sheer Force and Iron Fist is solid. So I really like that. Definitely my hidden MVP is going to be the Goodra here. Very versatile, like huge move pool. Good, like Sap Zipper is going to be great to help with Mudsdale and Primarina. You've got good checks for like fairy types with Corv and Arcanine and Glow-King. Ice types, again, Corviknight, Arcanine, and then other dragons with a Prim and the Corv as well. So yeah, it's a super bulky team. You're not going to be able to KO any of these mons, but I will add the caveat that this team does have, and like Jake is a really good player. There is a potential to just kind of like be a little too passive with this team. Like it's going to take a little bit to get things set up to really start doing damage. And I think opposing coaches could take advantage of that. But I say that in so far that I think that with the team that's drafted here, Jake is aware of that. And that's what I really like about coaches that are like, this is a team I want to build. I know what its strengths and I know what its weaknesses are. I think this is a team that does that. It's like, we're not trying to cover for like, I have to check for this. I have to check for this. I have to do like, this stuff is like, this is the team I want to build. This is how it's going to work. The opponents have to respect the way that this team built with what they bring into me, which I think is really cool. Yeah, I think it's another like great squad. Yeah, I think that like some hyper offense teams could kind of check this. But again, caveat: the team is built or is bulky for a reason. So really excited to see what's cooking with this squad. The return of the balance king. Very cool. Next up, we got Ronald, another returning coach here. And now, I think that it's been really cool to see Ronald's growth in draft. Like, I mean, Ronald's in chat here. Like, first off was very much like Trick Room and slacking stuff with the teams. But I think Ronald learned really, really fast about making teams and like being successful with said teams. And I know that I remember him talking about like asking others for like suggestions into team building this season. And it really, really, really shows with this. Like I really like this. Hello, Undead. Hello. This is a really, really cool team. So obviously right out the bat, yeah, so much different than season 1. But it's again, there's very clear modes with this team. Obviously you've got things like Bridge, Pelipper. I mean, it's always a staple, you know that. Picking up the mouse hold too is gonna be like, if you do not have a normal, like, obviously you can do like beat up on the Archaludon for stamina stuff, but you have to respect as well, the population bomb. You have to respect it. Like every coach will have to be like this. You have to have something for the mouse hold. So rocky helmets, steel types, rock types. But Archaludon can kind of break through those fairly well between body press and body press. Yeah. The Florges is a really cool pickup for this team. I've never thought about like symbiosis with like the rain squad here, but like you can easily go like sturdy power herb Archaludon with symbiosis Florges and just start dishing out huge damage. Whatever item you want to give it to it. So that's really cool. I like the Swift Swimmer and Overquill is pretty solid too. And then there's like a cool back end like size spam mode as well. I mean, sort of. I know because I mentioned things about size spam, but with Meowstic and Arbor Rouge. But Meowstic is a fantastic draft mon. I loved using this thing. Lots of really great utility. So yeah, I'm gonna hit Symbiosis at some point this season. I was the same way when I had a Florges. I picked it up, it was like, I have to Symbiosis something. It is required. But yeah, Meowstic is a really great supportive mon. His doing Samurot's gonna be pretty cool too. Like the sharpness, aqua cutters and the rain. that's dealing massive damage. And then I was around helping with the Hisuian Decidueye pick too, and I think that's a really great mod because building around this like Flower Veil mode is really cool. Plus you get your Scrappy, break through any kind of steel types for that. So Armarouge is really cool for the squad. You don't necessarily. Okay, I know Rocco's here as well. You don't. I said side spam before because everyone thinks of Armarouge as a side spammer, and it is good side spammer. But Armarouge I think is super underexplored as a solo Armarouge. I think it's got good utility for that. Like it's got like 100 defense, 85 attacks, HP. Like really cool, really solid. And I really like it for this squad. I mean, you got your Flash Fire for all your grass types, Archaludon for neutral. But additionally, I think what is more exciting is the weak armor between things like the Maushold for like you can do beat up, like beat up Armarouge stuff. Between Maushold or my choice for secret MVP, and this is extremely biased, hidden MVP. I'm fully aware of this bias. Hisuian Electrode. I picked up the spawn because I needed some fast electric type, and I think it's a cool mon for one of my drafts. Hisuian Electrode I think is really underrated. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but what it does really well. It is better than regular Electrode because you have that grass typing benefits it so much. You can't be put to sleep, can't be redirected by Rage Powder, and obviously you got your Bullet Seed stuff for Archaludon, but like Electroreb's really solid, and you need them on to break through the water types. Like Hisuian Electrode can do that. But yeah, yeah, I honestly really like it. I see the idea for Jolteon on the squad, and I think it would be a solid pick as well. Because you lose out things like Weather Ball from Jolteon, which is gonna be really good for it. But I do think that Hisuian Electrode, like I'm gonna see like. So soundproof is a pretty solid ability. Like if anybody wants to bring them hyper voices, I know there's a couple. There's a Blood Moon, Snarls, things like that. Static is going to be great. Even Athlemat to an extent. Like the abilities are pretty solid. Like 150 is the fastest in the format. But you got Electrowebs. Obviously you can have Thunder already. Thunder in the Rain is going to be really cool. You can do some Solar Beam shenanigans if the sun comes. Grass Knot Chloroblast is still a 150 base power move. Yeah, you lose a lot of the HP for that, but that's fantastic. But you fast Thunder Waves, fast non-prankster taunts, really good. Leech Seed is great on this spawn as well. Fast electric terrains, you can do like electric terrain into breach stuff, like really cool stuff. Worry Seeds is gonna be great. Scary Face, Screech, like really lots of like what it does really well. And also too with like Hisuian Electrode, because it's so fast, if there's like a slower team that's going up that's like you don't really need to invest any speed onto it, just bulk this thing out because you're already outspeed, you're bulking things out, and you can just keep yourself alive with Leech Seed. Really cool. Love the spawn. Really cool pick. Definitely my hidden MVP. Gonna be a great support mod for the squad. Yeah. I think that there's a couple things I see here. I mean, there's so not having I mean, you only have one pure fairy resist, so like dazzling gleam stuff could be an issue, but like there isn't too many fairy types available. The ground type spam can be a bit of an issue. Again, having really only Decidueye. I mean, Electrode can help a little bit, and obviously all the Pelipper can help, and Samurott for sure. I think there's like some stuff with that as well. And I think that it will be, I do like, Ronald's already thought of this with the squad, is like, obviously fighting types are going to be like already fighting type is going to be an issue. Even these fighting type here. And we'll have to rely entirely on Meowstic, Armourouge, and Florges to take care of those. And there will be a good amount of fighting types in the squad. I'm excited to see how Bridges in absolutely no Terra. I think it will still be really strong, and you have to respect it. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, flying spam could be an issue as well, but you don't really want, I mean, flying types against Bridge and Electrode are going to be like, eh. But I think in a position, like a really good flying type can really chunk through the squad as well. So, yeah, I think there would be, I think maybe some, I mean, I don't know, because Ronald is a pretty hyper-offensive player, and like this is a pretty good offensive squad. I was gonna say like defensive switch-ins are kind of like iffy, but his team is very much, you dictate the pace of the battle from turn one. So I don't know necessarily if like a defensive switch-in is the goal of the squad. I think once you feel it out, like it'll make sense. But really creative squad. Yeah. Next up, we got ZL, new coach as well. Hello, welcome ZL. Welcome to the league. And yeah, right off the bat, we're gonna have some. This is really fun team. These first three to begin with: Ursaluna, Blood Moon, Farigiraf, Vivillon, fantastic, really good. You get your setup, your Trick Room setup. I love me Giraffe. Farigiraf is so much fun to use, and obviously, like Blood Moon's gonna hit like a truck. There's the Basque Legion is a really interesting pickup here. Like, you'll have to, there'll be a couple, like, there are Brons that have, like, Rain Dance on this team if you do want to go Swift Swim on it. Like, Rain Dance is pretty much on, like, all these Mons. But I definitely see it more as an adaptability, or even Mold Breaker as well. They hit really hard. Like the Tauros for, get you a nice solid Intimidator. And then these two, I mean, Salazzle gets Dragon Cheer, Hydreigon is a Dragon type. So you could do that shenanigans for critical hit Dracos. They cover each other really well. Oblivious is fantastic. You cannot taunt the Salazzle. So you just sash this thing and it's call it a day. Corrosion's pretty cool too, like against any of the steel types. That maybe like Fareg or Vivillon want to like have some struggle against. Thoraki, great solid. Budget Rillaboom, good Eviolite, solid mod. Shift G for like fake out priority. I mean, there's some Tailwind setters that are totally cool. Like Vivillon, Hydreigon are great Tailwind setters. Squawkabilly, who we'll get to in a second, for if you want to do Wind Rider stuff. Or even Chlorophyll. Yeah, it looks like this is like there's like the Trick Room mode, there's like pseudo weather in here, there's the Salazzle like dragon mode, like Dragon Cheer mode. And my secret MVP is a Squawkabilly. It is a I think stalk ability is pretty solid. It's pretty solid in the draft. You get Intimidate. It's not gonna hit like a truck, but it like with the overall lower format, like lower BSTs, it's do a lot more like viable stuff. Because this is technically an Intimidate parting shot user, which we know a very famous Fire Dart cat that has that possibility. But you have U-turn, you can do Tailwind. You can do Final Gambit stuff. Yeah, you could just put the Covert Cloak on the Sing and do all that kind of stuff. Could be a Gutsmon, Hustle if you really want to. It's another one of those mons where like it's got a limited move pool, but it does its job really well in draft. So that's definitely going to be my hidden MVP here. I do think there's still a lot of vulnerabilities with this squad. It is like, I mean, the Friend Guard with the Vivillon will definitely help a lot with kind of its overall kind of bulk issues to a degree. Like, I mean, most of the squads, I mean, you got physically defensive. You can make Hydreigon decently bulky. Basque Legion you can make bulky, but like everything else can this team does not appreciate a special hit, and there's only a 1 Assault Vest available. Also, I mean, I guess you can do Eviolite and the Thwackey. It's kind of the same thing, but there's also a lot of mons that want Focus Sash in this team. So like I having mons that kind of each want a specific item, like are asking for those, is really tricky with the draft squad. So yeah, I mean, not having a Dragon Resist is kind of spooky, because you can just spam Dragon type moves and you can't really do anything to stop it. No Steel or Fairy. Like Fairy spam is going to be decent. Lwdl is like okay with checking the Fairy types. Granted, I said before, Fairy types will be kind of like a few. Let's take a, what do we got? What do we got here on Fairy types? This is Mirai, Clefairy, Klefki. Klefki's kind of interesting in that squad. Sylveon, I mean, those are kind of expensive. But if you want like lower cost Fairy options that are available, yeah, all the fairies are going to be very like top heavy, because fairy type is just really, really strong. Let me see here. What do we got for fairies? Is Carbing to Dene? Where's Darkspawn? Did Darkspawn get picked up? Would Darkspawn be good for the squad? I think Darkspawn could work. I mean, you don't really want to bring Fire type against these two, but Fire types check the Viv and the Thwackey. I'm open. I think there's a possibility for Darkspawn to kind of pop off here. Wigglytuff can be good. Its move pool is really is a large move pool. Its stats aren't really the best. It's kind of all put in HP, but competitive and frisk are great. So maybe trying to find some fairy option is going to be decent here. But yeah, I mean, this is also flying. This is spooky, and yeah, the type chart in draft doesn't entirely show the full range of the team. Like, you don't need to have perfect greens all across the board in your type chart here to be like, I have a good team. Like I said before, coaches who draft a team that like find the goal of what they want to build and double down on that and know what the weaknesses are and know they have tools to check onto those is better than covering for everything. But yeah, I think a steel type and a fairy type are going to be really kind of needed for this squad. There's a couple different options there, but yeah, Blood Moon, Balloon's great. Tauros, Basket Legion, Lwdl, Hydreigon's very fun combo. The secret weapon, secret MVP, definitely the squad. So yes. Next up, we got Darkhelm. I know you are in chat here. Welcome. This is your first draft. I think it's your first draft, VGC Draft League ever, which is really, really exciting. And I like it's really cool what we're seeing here. So I know that obviously I think you knew right away you wanted to get the sun mode. Obviously Torkoal, Venu, great, solid. Volk, really good. I mean, this thing's gonna hit like a truck in the sun. Bronzong has already has proven itself to be really solid in the sun. But yeah, I have 5 Rock Weeks, and I will for sure be a dumbass and bring all 5 to each match. Make sure they're all slower than any potential Rock Slider. Absolutely, yes. That's Stealth Rock. Exactly. Rock type's an interesting in draft. Like it usually ends up being red for me, because there isn't too many Rock types hanging around. But like a really good Rock type it has the potential to kind of go ham. But yes, so there's that going on. Bronzong will be great for any of the ground types here. Crook for Intimidate. The Crook Bronzong for Levitate, Earthquake stuff. Very, very cool. Checks any of the like ground types, rock types that would come against the Torkoal. And also checks each other. Like if the fairy types want to go after Crocodile, you can use Bronzong Steel type, very good. And then I mean Amoonguss is Amoonguss. The Rhyperior is also cool here too for like Bronzong Levitate stuff. We got placing like fully doubling down on Sun and doubling down on like the Trick Room mode. And this Golurk here is a mascot here for Darkhelm. They are quite known for their Golurk here. But for this team, my hidden gem, and I believe the Hisuian Braviary is really underrated, and I really like it for the squad for a couple different reasons. So first off, it's going to be a little bit slow. It has 110 HP is respectable. Defense is a little bit on the lower side, but you can clean up that, and like 110 special attack. But it has 2 very, very good abilities with Sheer Force and with Tinted Lens. Really, like you can do, if you have the sheer force life orb, you can do stuff with like the Esper Wing, with Heat Wave, with Psychic, Shadow Ball, Snarl. Like I just learned this too, that like this gets Vacuum Wave. That's really cool. I didn't know that Hisuian Braviary got Vacuum Wave. That's really neat. But then also Tinted Lens, because a lot of things resist Psychic and Flying, but you can just like what's a steel type to this, just still going neutral damage. But like you can do Calm, you can set up with it, Calm Mind on it. It does get Tailwind. You'll get Roost. You got some of the weathers. I think that it's going to be easy to underestimate this mon, because what I like is that the team really supports what Hisuian Braviary doesn't want to see. Steel types, all your fire modes. Dark types, you can do Blaziken. Bronzong is pretty decent with Body Slam. Crocodile will resist it. The bug moves for dark types are going to be great. Any opposing psychic types, like the mons the opponents have to bring to like resist any of the bravery stuff is going to be checked by the sun mode. So yeah, it's a free Terrastar Storm effect. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I do think that there's a couple, and I think that the thing with this I think this is a really, really cool, really like there's cool stuff going on here. Like Patrick for this squad. I think the thing that I see right here is that there's a lot of overlapping roles. So like Venusaur, I mean, they do different things, but Grass Poison is like, you could probably find a cheaper redirector in Amoonguss. And I'd say I go to that because I don't think you'll be dropping Venusaur anytime soon, because I know you probably want to use Venusaur. So we're building around Venusaur. I think you can find a cheaper redirector. I think the double ground types, I mean, again, they do a couple like different things, but I think like having one of them would be decent. I think that this team can be easily checked by the coaches, and I think trying to figure out, okay, what are the weaknesses of this team that you've got right now, and what mons am I able to trade away to expend to help with those weaknesses. So like something for the water types, having like a Storm Drain mon is going to be decent. And like, just because I know Gastro's pick, like there are other mons that have Storm Drain that are available, and I think actually the only other mon is going to be Lumineon, and Lumineon's not that bad. So there's like having resist to that. Okay, I played this mon too in VGC. I picked it up for one of my VGCs, and I actually think it's also another low-key threat that you see. This is a staple in singles, but I think in draft it has some viability, and this is a Alomomola. Having a super bulky regenerator mon, I think that this could go pretty great on this squad. Between it checks its weaknesses between the grass types with all the fire coverage and any of the electric types with the ground coverage. Regenerator, it's a good defensive pivot mon. You could easily help for a setup. It gets great support moves. Helping Hand, it gets the screen. It gets wide. No, you don't get all screens. It gets wide guard. You can do wish stuff. Wish can work. Pain split. Baton pass, set up into stuff. Soak is very funny, but you probably don't need. Yeah. Clef is up as a redirector. That could work. But then like it's utility moves, and yeah, the sun is gonna really weaken like the water type moves. But this is just gonna be a defensive mon because it has Scald. Scald is gonna be great. Yeah, there's obviously the Student Lilligant as well for After You Eruption, but like again, I think this is like Patrick wants to build around the Venusaur, and so I think those kind of fill a similar. Yeah, get Aqua Ring, Flip Turn, like. Mirror Code is also great as well because you probably will have special attackers that come into your squad to check things like the Torkoal, Rhyperior, Golurk. Like being able to just Mirror Coat that back, boom, takes it out. So yeah, something for the water types I think will be solid. I think you do have a couple Levitate mons, something to hit the ground types. I mean, you can use their fire spam, and Venusaur is great too. Let's see. Yeah. So yeah, I think it'd be finding like, okay, now that we've drafted these mons, what do I feel like are the strongest mons in the team? And you'll see that in week 1 of just like, oh, okay, this is what kind of like what I need here. And then trying to fill out mons to help with those weaknesses. And that's kind of, that's your call as a team, because you as a coach know your team better than I do. This is just from the outside look. I think this is some really good stuff here. Really fun stuff. And I'm excited to see what you got going on here. Golok will show up to a game, and Golok will pop off. So yeah, cool. Alrighty. Next we have KC. Hello, this is another returning coach. Another returning coach. They were under the name Corrosion in the past, but we're going by KC right now. And so this is KC's another creative team builder. Very thoughtful in the way that they team build, like very like good fairy crafter. But this is a pretty cool squad here. First pick Incineroar, and so these 3 right here, I think are like this is the core of the team. This is your Fire, Water, Grass. They're great. All these mons love to pivot in and out, and which I think is really cool. It's a really cool idea of just like, I'm going to be switching in and out, and all these mons benefit from that. We can Parting Shot, we can Hospitality, we can Zero to Hero. Like this is great, and I'm excited to see Palafin in the hands of KC, because I know that they'll be the kind of player to be like, I'll keep my Palafin in. I don't care. I'm not going to switch it out just yet, on the turn 1. Here's a Jet Punch to let's take someone out or something like that. So like there's cool stuff there. There's like a cool, like you got a decent Trick Room mode, Gardevoir, Hisuian Gudra, all good like Trick Room viability bonds. Jolteon for your fast like speed control. Mammal for good coverage for checking the steel types that are a little bit of a problem for the squad, and the dragon types as well. I mean, you have Gardevoir as well, but like, and any of the like that. And the Weezing is going to be cool here too. Like just shut down the abilities. Like this team, it doesn't necessarily need abilities. Which I also really like in the team building, is that this is a very like ability neutral team. So you can, if there's an opponent that has relied entirely on abilities, Weezing is going to be great for that. But even Levitate to an extent can definitely come. Checking again, fairy types, grass types that want to come as well. I am so excited to see the low kicks here as well. Low kicks is such a cool mon. It's a really cool design mon of like fast grasshopper, just sucker punch, first impression, tinted lens, nothing's resistant to that. Like that's just, this thing will chunk down damage. Good for it's cool. I like this mon. I'm excited to see it work. But I do think that my hidden MVP is going to be this Flamingo here. I really like the Flamingo for the squad. For Scrappy, Scrappy in particular helps against the ghost types. For Sinistra, it'll just what's a close combat to the ghost types there. You can, like, 90 speed's respectable. It's got Tailwind. That's your Tailwind setter. You can slash this easily. But there's also a decent amount of mons that can benefit from Co-Star as well. Like cool setup stuff. And I believe this also, it also, like, I'm pretty sure this is another, like, it gets coaching. It does not get coaching, never mind. But Quick Guard's gonna be great. They can Swords Dance Taunt. Wide Guard's gonna be great. But it can also just, it can bulk up itself. It can be the one that sets up and sweeps. Good, lots of guys that like really, this team's all about pivoting. Like, we are pivoting, getting into position, getting things set up, and sweeping from there. Yeah. I think it's another one of like another bulky team to get through. But this is bulky in the sense that the pivoting is going to benefit a lot from it. I mean, I say pivoting a lot, but I know there's like other modes that can work on the squad. Like, you just Sinister Gudra set up and starts body pressing things. Like, you have to bring fighting type and ground type for Sue and Gudra. Sinister checks that. So yeah, I think having the Gardevoir be the only kind of like fighting type check is going to put a lot of pressure on it, but decent amount of job, does a decent job at that. I mean, actually Flamigo, that's fine. Flamigo also helps with that too, with the flying type. Oh, you can see you can do Earthquake shenanigans. Yeah, it's telepathy too on the Gardevoir, like this trio's here. So like, yeah, there's cool stuff going on here. I think that the enemy coaches are gonna have to plan around like, okay, is it gonna be Palafin setup or even Sinister setup as well, or is it gonna be like we just spam with Flamigo Mamo into telepathy, Gudra's bulky in the back, things like that. So yeah, excited to see what's going here. It's I know you got, I saw you got like tons of, like, you had a lot of plans and all of them were sniped by the time it got to you. I was in a draft when that happened, like all 3 of my ideas got sniped. I ended up going with like whatever like I could see available as a team. Like, it was Sun. I had never used Sun before. The team it turned into one of my best draft teams ever. So like, the limitation does breed the creativity, and I know that you are a creative team builder and creative player. So yeah, I'm excited to see what you got here. It's been cool. So like, this Miraidon Division is like, it's really bulky. Like, a lot of bulky players this time around. So I'm interested to see like as the season goes on, like how the teams adapt to all of that. Like, do some lean more hyper offense, do some like double down on their defenses. Like, I think it's like a meta's already formed in like the division, and so like teams can now prep around that, which is really cool. If that makes any sense. I kind of just rambled there. Yeah. Next up we got Big Oog. This is also a returning coach. This was Ivan last season, and this is where the Dondozo Tatsugiri went. I'm liking a couple of stuff here. So, the automatically Ninetales Dondozo, really great. This you will set up Aurora Veil, Dondozo, gonna be difficult to get through. Rabombi is like a Tailwind setter, another fast fairy type, pretty cool. Oh right, yes, and I think actually Lwdl's got theirs, yeah. Hold on. No, I think this is actually the most up to date for the squad. Yes, you're actually right. This squad is effective week 2. Imagine there's no Chandelure right now, and that's a Baxcalibur right here, which I think Bax is still gonna be fine with this squad. As a Baxcalibur Aficionado. Love this mon to death. Baxcalibur is the great Fire Water Grass check. And that's a lot of these mons don't like the Fire Water Grass. And so Baxcalibur does a great job checking that. But when they pick up things like the Chandelure and the Arcanine, it's going to be great too. Ribombee with Shield Dust, going to be a great supportive mon for Tailwind, for Weather. I also liked how too that they knew they were like Oog was going to go in for like the Dozo mode, and they picked up a bunch of mons that are good against Dozo and put it on their team. Takes the Ninetales, takes the Chandelure with Haze, takes the Pawmot so they can do Revival Blessing stuff. Meowscarada on their team also helps through Dondozo. When did they pick up this Meowscarada? I'm gonna take a look at this. Hold on 1 second. What pick was your... How you got 8th pick Meowscarada for your Dondozo team and no other coaches went for that is bonkers to me. Granted, there are other ways to check with Dondozo with a lot of good Haze users, but like Meowscarada is, especially in the No-Terra format, is like a really solid check for Dondozo. And despite what we all saw last season, I know Ronald's in chat, it's blind when it comes to triple axles. It's still like always critical hit, flower trick, pretty cool, pretty good. It's super fast mon. I like this Grafai pick too for kind of weather modes if you want to, because I feel it got some good weather options. Copycat's gonna be very funny on this team. But yeah, so I do think this is another squad that's like could be too passive, and could be easily kind of easily checked on that. There's a lot of mons that also want to use Focus Sash. Between like Meowscarada, Tatsu to extent, Ribombee, Pawmot, they're pretty frail. Like the Parting Shot Grafai will help with that. Ninetales. It's this team really relies on, if they want to, like the screen slash like Parting Shot, Intimidate stuff is what will keep this team alive. It's like really heavy on that. So I think coaches are gonna have a easy job of kind of like checking onto that. But then also too, like this is definitely a bit of an issue here. I mean, you have 2 fairy types for the fighting types. Chandelure is gonna help. There's what the issue that I have here is that it's not so much like they're like all its weaknesses, it's that the mons that you have on the squad that will check these types coming to the game are really frail. They're all the frail mons that are on here. So I think that's going to be like, it's going to rely a lot of resources to keep those frail mons alive to check any types of like in this core here from showing up. And so like, I think what might happen is like this might turn into like an all my friends are dead syndrome with the Dondozo. But yeah, there is cool stuff going on here. Like there's like a lot of good stuff. I think that trying to find some mons to check with this, and like maybe, I mean, Dondozo's good in Trick Room. Like maybe have some other good solid Trick Room mons that are like in like the lower like 40s, 50s, 30s, whatever for speeds are gonna be decent too. Because someone could just set up Trick Room and just kind of go to town on this team as well. Yeah, it's cool. Oh, my secret MVP. I mean, I don't think it's really that much of a secret at this point, but like, Palmot's good. Palmot's good in draft. Chris last season, the winner, like showed how much versatility this mod has. I'm interested to see like how it will do without Terra, because it will only be able to use its double shock like once, but like Palmot doesn't have to be a double shot. Doesn't have to have double shock. Fake out. Lots of Volt Switch for utility switching out, like Iron Fist. It's gonna be good. This mon can do a lot of things. So I would give that as my secret like hidden MVP for this squad. Next up we got Rockwell. Rockwell, another returning player. The most vibes-based, the most like, this mon looks funny. Let's draft it to my team. An extreme, chaotic wild card of a player who is extremely good and talented, and they team build so much. They are an excellent team builder. And despite Rockwell being at July 4th festivities during the time that most of the draft was done, I still think this is a really, really cool, solid squad. So Komodo, specifically at Lwdl, Komodo is consistently a really, really strong mon here. It's rare. I'm surprised to see how much success Komodo gets here. It seems to be like always a problem for any coaches that come up against it. And so Rockwell picking for his team, I imagine it's like, I don't want to deal with this mon. I just want it for myself. But doing things like the Magmar, obviously fire type Magmar with setup like with these two is already really good. Seeing Grimmsnarl in the hands of Rockwell is gonna be one of the most beautiful sights I will ever see, because this man will do the most wildest, craziest things with Grimmsnarl, because it is more than a screen bot. Like, this is Grimmsnarl has 120 attack. Like, it can do things like prankster setup. Like, I think Keon is in still chat too, Conqueror. Like, they also know like the power of Grimmsnarl. Having Rockwell with this mod, ooh, I'm so excited to see what will be cooked here. Gyarados great for Earthquake shenanigans. I like the snow mode is super funny. I mean, Abomasnow is one of my favorite mons too, so I'm excited to see this guy here. I always like to do my little Snover impression. Very fun. I love Abomasnow. Look at his little mustache. Very cool. But yeah, Abomasnow Frostmoth is very funny. Abomasnow in Trick Room as well, and we're gonna get to the Trick Room one in a second, because this is gonna be my MVP for the squad. Abomasnow in Trick Room is legit. Like, you slow Blizzard spam with also its grass type too. If you want to bring like the sleep mons to prevent Trick Room, like just slop a safety goggles in this guy. You get Trick Room set up, Abomasnow just Blizzard. Like, it gets Earth Power too. Check the Steel types as well. Like, it has some possibility. Granted, it's got like a bajillion and one weaknesses. And there's no Terra available, but Rockwell is a player that I know can get Abomasnow into position and make Abomasnow work. These are like, you have a bunch of my favorite mons in this team, like Ursaluna, Abomasnow, Yanmega. I love the Yanmega. Magmar, I've love this guy too. Like, Yanmega, good for your Tailwind setter. Comfey is gonna be super interesting too. I mean, we've seen Comfey Komodo it's a tried and true duo. But I like, again, Rockwell does best is that it's a really flexible, this is a really flexible team. There's a lot of different modes that could go onto this team. Like, you have to respect Trick Room Ursaluna stuff. But it could also be fast Ursaluna on this team. It could be bulk Ursaluna. Bulk on the, like, Grimmsnarl Komodo is so gross. But okay, so yes, my hidden MVP, Oranguru. I think that Oranguru is definitely going to be my secret MVP here. I think this is a really great budget mon for Trick Room stuff for Ursaluna. But like the things that want to come against the Oranguru, like it's going to be a really good defensive typing for this squad. Inner Focus is fantastic, can't be faked out. Telepathy is going to be really great for Earthquake spams. That's all I can see. There's probably other whole team, like whole battle, like Earthquake type moves. But there's also a good amount, I'm excited. There could be Symbiosis Komodo stuff that's going on. I think, and like, it has a good amount of like support stuff, like good utility here too. Like, are there any like weakness policy? Not really, because it's a decent like bulldoze like utility. Oh no, that's what it was. It's Instruct. Instruct is the big key here. There's so many mons that love Instruct on this team. Like Abomasnow, Komodo, Ursaluna. Love Instruct. Just boom. And Rockwell is that kind of guy that's like, I want to do massive amounts of damage. Here's all of my damage. So I think this is Oranguru is a really cool, creative way to use this mon in this team. And I think it's a really great support option. Lots of things check its weaknesses here, and I'm excited to see where this goes. I think Rockwell mentioned about the 5 rock weaknesses here. I am okay with the 5 rock weaknesses here because Ursaluna and Komodo are so bulky enough to just can delete all those rock any monster with those rock type coverage. I don't think there's relatively a lot of like psychic type, but there's like, what I also like is that there's a lot of like substitute mons. Like, well, I think really good draft players can like, they know what the core team is, but like you can also bring in mons that can substitute out. Like you can like Grimstar and Comfey can switch. They do a little bit different things as different fairy types. There's a variety of different setup mons that can be used here. Does Frostmile get Rage Powder? I don't think it does. Yeah, it does not, unfortunately. Yeah. I think this is the biggest thing I see here. There's no flying resists. They can just flying spam into your team, and you don't really have to. I mean, you have the ice coverage to check them, but like having some electric resist could be like having an electric type would be pretty decent. If there's like a Rotom available, honestly, if this could be replaced with like a Rotom Frost, that's pretty cool. I can see that working. Hello, June. Hello, welcome. We got we're wrapping up Rockwell's review here. We got three more coaches to wrap up the Miraidon division. But yeah, I think something to check some of the flying types, because it's going to be a good amount that are so I see like I mean, none there. Flying type. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of flying types that are here. So I think having something, I think electric type makes sense. Having some electric type, I think would help a little bit. But yeah, no, Rocky's team is like, this is a Rockwell team, and I love every bit of it. Yeah. I guess something to hit the fairy types too. I mean, you can just And there's also, you can just blow up the fairy types with Ursaluna. That's an option. Because relying just on Magmar, like I said before, not too many fairy types in the format, but there will be fairy types that show up. But my main priority is more the flying types here. Like that's spooky, having that as a big weakness. But yeah, love this team. This is a really cool creative team. Like enemy coaches will have to really critically think about what Ruckle is going to bring, because it's not straightforward. So yeah. Oh, I'm excited. This is fun. This is fun team. Okay, now this is Curry Puff, a returning coach, and Curry's teams are so much fun. Like, Curry sent me the idea that he had for his team, which is pure toxicity and doubling down on that, and I respect the hell out of him for this, because turn 1 was Smeargle. But there's like so much shenanigans. I mean, you've got all your tried and trues. You got your Smeargle mucks. You can do your final gambits. You can do your explosions. Whimsicott. This team is really gross. Like, you can encore things, and that's like annoying. You can just sash it and just blow up things. A small, like, sun mode. Hisuian Zoroark is super funny. There's a good amount of squads that Hisuian Zoroark likes to be. Like, it can be Smeargle. It can be Annihilate. It can be Metagross to an extent. It can be Stantler. We'll get to Stantler in a second. It's very cool. Bellybolt's very silly. Bellybolt's pretty decent draft mod. Doesn't have a lot of coverage, but like it's good. It's good bulk. And then we got our flag on here too. But my secret weapon is gonna be the Stantler here. I think with Eviolite with the Stantler, having Intimidate for these mons is fantastic. Frisk is really great. Sap Sipper as well. I mean, Sap Sipper for Gastrodon is kind of like decent, but it's mostly Intimidate Frisk. But there's a lot. I'm not going to give a lot of it away, but there are a lot of utility moves that Stantler gets that this team really likes. This is I do think that there's gonna be, like, this team does not appreciate a taunt anywhere. not in these. No, there's no mon that, like, you can just taunt something in this team and it kind of shuts it down. But it's still a fun team. I think that having to have this team be successful, you have to know what the taunt mons are and prioritize getting rid of those to let everything succeed. But there's also there's also modes that you don't have to go fully, like, you don't have to go full Smeargle Muck. Like Alolan Muck by itself is pretty decent. Like Poison Touch will be pretty good. Gluttony, like it can make this thing super bulky with Gluttony, Recycle, like a good amount of stuff there. For like, yeah, until you get like banned Smeargle's Glacial Lance. Yeah, I know. Curry was also warning everyone about Population Bomb as well, like tidy up Population Bomb from Smeargle as well. I'm excited to see. Like, that's the thing, is like Curry will bring the wildest stuff to matches, and this is the pinnacle of wild, unpredictable mons. So I think Smeargle in the hands of Curry is really dangerous. But yeah, I mean, Taunt's going to be an issue for the squad. I think a solid redirector is going to be decent into the squad. I mean, there's not going to be. I mean, you will people will be bringing fighting types here. This is why we said tidy up population bomb. Actually, at that rate, just go like Swords Dance or something, or Dragon Dance or Geomancy. But yeah, what do we do here? The ground types are going to be tricky for this team to get through as well. You don't really have too much to hit any ground types. I mean, you got Whims, Whims and Gastro. But then, like, yeah, ground spam, like Earthquake. The team doesn't appreciate Earthquake as well. Maybe finding a wide guard. I mean, I was gonna say maybe finding a wide guard mon. You have a wide guard mon in Smeargle. I gotta keep forgetting. Smeargle is the ultimate utility mon. But yeah, super fun squad. Yeah, I think just having to play around the taunt is gonna be playing around the taunt and finding like good checks to ground types. Will be decent. Will be the way to go. Plus 2, 252 attack, Smeargle population bomb, 10 hits into 252 HP, forward Politoed, does over a greater than 99% chance to OHKO. That's a beautiful stat. You rarely see, yeah, don't let that guy get his Swords Dance or get Moody boosts. Absolutely. Being able to see calculations that KO, one-hit KO Politoads, beautiful. Cool. Alrighty. We got Stout Gaming here. New coach to the league. Hello, welcome. Stout. Oh right, yeah, that's what it was. It was Technician. That's what it was. Curry was hyping up the Technician Smeargle. But yeah, so Stout Gaming, welcome to the league. Excited to have you here. Stout has come in and has put around a lot of accolades for draft. From what I've known about when they've come here, they've done a lot. They have a long history of a draft, and so they have a lot of insight into things. And I think that it does really show with the squad. The already off the bat, like the first two pickups, the T-Tar and DD female, like that's really that's a cool like. Some coaches will go like, I'm gonna pick like here's my two like core mons. Like if you had the Indeedee, you'd be like Indeedee Trick Room, whatever. But the Stout was build the two different modes of the team at the same time, which was really cool. So going a T-Tar Indeedee Drift Blim, the obviously really good support stuff with the Driplim. It gets Trick Room. You can do Psychic Terrain stuff. And on Burden. But you can also book it up for Trick Room. Then compare it up with like two Expanding Force users. I will let players know that Delphox is in my sights here for future point fixings. Because the fact that Delphox and Hatterene ended on this team is absolutely disgusting. But Hariyama, these are all really, really solid mons. Rotom Mo, great, solid. Draft Mon, Melodic for any of, like, for competitive, for any Intimidate drops on the T-Tar or the Hariyama, any Snarls that want to come out for the Delphox Hatterene, and, like, good for decent against the Steel types that Hatterene and the Psychic types want to go against, and, like, the, it's just overall good bulky bond. And then you got your Sandrush abuser. I expected Houndstone to come out. It was interesting to see in their draft. Like they started with T-Tar, but Astrodrill was sniped pretty early. I don't know if they had Lwdl in mind for this team. They could have, but I think Houndstorm is a. I expected once the Lwdl to go that Houndstone was going to end up on this team, and sure enough, it was. And that's going to be one of my my hidden MVPs here. I think Houndstone's pretty cool for the squad. For your Sand Rush, you get your last respects on this guy. You can it's pretty like it's pretty decent bulk wise. And like 68 under Sand Rush will outspeed things. I wonder if does Houndstorm get like psychic things or does stuff that cover like. I'm sure it's got to. Oh, I got Play Rough. Yeah, Play Rough and Psychic Fangs. You can do Endeavor stuff with it. But you can also, this monster's going to be great because of Fluffy as well. So, fast, a Sand Rush Yawn user is really cool. Helping Hand, Fast Disable, Ally Switch will be interesting. Fast Willows are going to be cool. Fast Howls. Like, this mon's got a lot of great utility for the squad. And it's protected really well with the Psychic terrain. Like, no Sucker Punches. No Sucker Punches. What's priority to this squad? I also think the Haxorus is really cool in this squad too. I think Haxorus is a pretty good budget dragon type. I mean, you have to respect the 147 attack here. It's got really good coverage. And like, you have to like rely on things like your Rever Room to check the fairy types. Like ice types don't want to come to this team, but you have to bring an ice type of some sort. And then dragon coverage. What's the dragon coverage for the Hatterene? And like, the fairy coverage here. Ice beams on Melodic. Ice coverage on T-Tar. T-Tar does get ice coverage. So like, this is a really cool, cool team. The super defensive like of the Rotom is like a really great pickup here, as well, because you have to bring with your fire types. Fire types don't like coming into the squad. Ice types don't like coming into the squad. Bug types could come. I think a good bug type could be good here. Oh yeah, I saw all the weaknesses here. Poison type doesn't really come as well. Like, there's a lot of things that protect this Rotom though, but it's gonna be a good defensive option to like for this squad. Yeah, this is definitely gonna be something really hard to prep up against. There's tons of different modes. It can go fast, it can go slow, it can set up, it can do supportive, like super supportive stuff. You do have to like respect that. I think ground spam is still like, it's like good and like not as strong in this team as well, because Rotom like checks that really well, and Melodic's very great against the like all the ground type coverage stuff. Yeah, getting a ghost type into position for this squad is definitely going to be interesting. I mean, you got your Houndstorm to check that. Drifblim as well. This is also like why like a good draft is that you have this team has substitutes. Drifblim and Houndstone could easily be switched out, like substitute each other. Delphox and Hatterene, good subs for each other. This is another team that I think this is similar to like Pengi squad, where like with the sand teams, where I think they're really good sand players. Of like the sand is there to chip things down, to let the AOE spam pick up the kills, which is cool, very cool. Yeah, this will be a really tricky It's a tough. It's a good squad. It's good. I like it. Well rounded. I don't have too. I don't think too much. I think it's good. I don't have too many stuff in this. I'm excited to see what Stout's got cooking here. And last but not least, we have Keon, Conqueror in chat, also returned for the season. And Keon has one of my favorite teams of the season. Like, this is up well with like Rockwell's creativity and team building here. I really liked Keon's strategy going into this game, going into this season, because he was bottom of the snake draft. He knew all the other like really solid bonds are gonna be picked up like really fast. And so he went straight for like strong budget pick mons that are underestimated, and Salamence is one of those. Like, because like, let me take a look here. Like we've got, yeah, the highest pick you had was that Salamence, which was 15. Like, tons of people like spent so much other money on things, on like higher bonds, and like you just went from Salamence and DD. It's cool because from here you then built out a lot of like really creative. I mean, Politoed Ludicolo, like Rain, like the Rain with Swiss Ludicolo is like solid in general. Like tried and true. Politoed's so bulky, unless you're that Smeargle that shows up to the squad. But what's a Smeargle population bomb to a Gengar, to a Scizor, to a Glamora, to an Intimidate Salamence? So the fake out there, but there is like a lot of good. There's like there's the Rain mode. Salamence can be physical or special in this team, and having Rain with Salamence as specialments, fantastic. Love that. Your Side Spam with Gallade and Side Spam, that's gonna hit like a truck. Have that with the Intimidate Salamence. This Gallade is gonna be living things. Magmortar, I think you picked up the was it you that picked up the Magmortar? No, this is the other division. But Magmortar, very good redirector. Scizor for the Scizor and Glamora, very good fairy checks. And for things like the Mence, for the Gallade, and like Galora Toxic Debris is going to be fantastic for the squad. This Torterra is very fun too. We love ourselves a turtle. My hidden MVP, I think I said this last season too, but like this Gengar. Watch it. Okay, I'm gonna do only two here because I got the Gengar. I think is a great good mon in draft. It's fast, hits hard, but it also can be really good. Really good support option, and I think that what we see with this team, that there is Perish Song available on the squad, and I think that's something that Keon was planning for in this draft, at least to me, from what it looks like. Yeah. I know it's crazy that Glamora fell like really low. But so yeah, Gengar is great because you Ghost type Perish user. What's the sucker? You can't Sucker Punch in the Psychic Terrain. But I also want to shout out Alchemy on the squad. I really like the Alchemy pick. There's a lot of setup mons. It's you can easily kind of just you can think like, oh, the Alchemy isn't gonna be that much of a problem, but like tons of decorate users on the squad. But even with that, Sweet Veil is gonna be great. Like you can't let's get Alchemy here. Yeah, the alchemy is a really great. I think I'm changing my hidden MVP to the alchemy here, because Sweet Veil, none of these mons will be able to be slept. Fantastic for all of that. Yes, I was getting some flack because it's not good fairy type, but there are like three fairies, and it's secretly really good offensively. I agree, and I think for your team, it's a lot of like. It kind of fits in the kind of like that Florges effect where like if you build a team with that abilities in mind to support that, it helps that mon shine. And I think this alchemy does that here. So like if you want to do Trick Room, like you can't put anything to sleep to prevent Trick Room, and you can Aroma Veil. I mean, granted, yeah, protects users and allies. They have to bring someone like Imprison Trick Room to prevent a Trick Room mode in the squad. With the alchemy here. I think the alchemy is like, yeah, 5 points. That I'll be keeping an eye on alchemy here, too, for point values, moving forward. But like there's the abilities of alchemy support this team so well. Yeah, I do think that there is a potential for like opposing psychic types to really kind of break through this squad. I mean, you got your ghost types, but like not having a dark type is kind of like iffy. I mean, relying entirely. I mean, alchemy can help with the fighting types. Scizor to an extent can help. Gallade obviously is good too. A dark type in general could be beneficial here, but like this is still a decent squad. Like, cool different modes that all the coaches have to prep for. Are you gonna bring Perish? Are you gonna bring Rain Spam? You can thank Jake for stealing Umbreon from me. Yeah. But like, let's take a look here for dark types that could be. Do you have a Eviolite user? You don't, because it could be Morgrim. Honchcrow's interesting. Malamar is Malamar is pretty cool for the squad. I like the Malamar pickup could be pretty good. Yeah, Bisharp and Zoroark. I think Malamar has like a decent amount of options. Considering you have some really solid fairy checks to the bond, and Bug type's a little bit issue, but like Magmortar helps with that. And yeah, and like Glamora, Scizor too. So yeah, I like Malamar. Bandabuzz is interesting. Yeah, Spiritomb. So there's a couple decent options here. But yeah, this is a really cool squad. Like Keon's a really solid player. I think this is a cool team where it demands the enemy coaches to think creatively how to get through this team. This isn't a straightforward squad, but it's a well synergized squad. Yeah, love what we got going on here. Really cool building around the Salamence, and like really great. Like you still use all 150 points, but I think it was like really well used. Like a lot of coaches went all in on like so many huge like top mons with 20, 19 points and spent it all there, and then got a bunch of like little mons. But like this is like a well balanced, like rounded, like a well-rounded squad that I think has got a lot of flexibility. So yeah, that wraps up all of our coaches in Yeah, you know, the opportunity to create a unique top-heavy team. But like that's what like I've been bottom of the snake draft before. It's kind of heat. I really do like the bottom of the snake. Yeah. I think you utilize that really beneficially. I think that's going to pay off in the end. But yeah, that wraps up all the coaches here in the Miraidon division. This is these divisions were decided randomly. There's tons of really, really strong players and really strong teams. This is an extremely competitive division. And a lot of really creative team builders, experienced team builders, I'm really excited to see what comes out of this division, because what meta was formed here in the Koraidon looks in Miraidon division looks totally different than the Koraidon division, the Koraidon division, which is what we will look into tomorrow. Tomorrow will be all dedicated to our Koraidon players, and we'll go through all those coaches there, yeah. Once we wrap those up, then Wednesday we're back to Run and Bun on Wednesday. We're starting a whole fresh new save. We're going at it again, and then next week we'll begin our watch alongs. Mondays will be watch along for the Miraidon division. Tuesdays will be the Koraidon division, and then Wednesdays will be up in the air for whatever we want to do. Most likely Run and Bun stuff. Yes, CJ, you are one of those. The Leonardo point meme. It's you. So yeah. Thanks for everyone stopping by. I hope you enjoyed a lot of the. I think the stream looks a lot better to look at right now than the previous stuff I had. So I hope you enjoy the updates there, and we'll wrap the stream up there. Thanks everyone stopping by. I shall see you tomorrow at 6 p.m.